Down the crystal rays I come. I am Surya. I come to manifest light within your heart. From far off turning worlds I come. The evolutions of the universe, of all cosmos, are one. You have pondered the problems of your own contemporary self. You have observed the muddled consciousness in manifestation in diverse individuals. You have seen the psychic charade that has appeared in the world with its manifestations of darkness. But I say unto you, the brilliant light of cosmic purpose illumines the pages of that which is to come. Mankind, you are destined to illumination. You are destined to manifestation of those glories you have not yet dreamed of. For when we speak from higher realms, down the starry radiance into your realm, it is to bring you awareness of the infinite tenderness of life that has tempered the wind to the shorn lamb and has so beautifully adjusted your consciousness that it can today, O mankind, raise you into that devotional offering reminiscent of a floral one. You raise your consciousness toward God as flowers do. You drink in the light of the suns. You drink in the energy of those of us who have formed a conglomerate whole and have not excluded you. Even the tiniest grain of sand is adored and loved by us. And if we center our love in a micrometer of cosmic consciousness, will we not give thee, O mankind, thou who art so much larger, a greater measure of our hopes and our potential, and even the crown of fulfillment? The hopes of the world ride with the Christ consciousness. They are involved in the sweetness of this noble effort, made 2,000 years ago and never ceasing since, and yet extending backward in time to the royal priesthood of Melchizedek, he who was born without father and without mother, without actual beginning of days or ending thereof, but made like unto the Son of God. For light has always been, and from light and the power of light within the heart of the Word, all creation through the great cyclic rounds has and does manifest. Yet today there are men and women engaged in little games which they play because they do not wish to think that the universe is a place of genuine perfection, but one of manipulation. They have learned in the marts of life, of the darkened states of consciousness, that like a puppet, dance as the strings of life are pulled. We, from our octave, are so aware of the power of your divine presence to lift you up, that we know that only your God presence can successfully manipulate you in that cosmic way whereby, world without end, a new manifestation of God is born momentarily. Each day, individuals are called to a higher awakening. Each day they rise. Somewhere upon the planetary body, cosmic responses are being born right now, while others lag and linger. There are those to whom the fruit of reason has given them to understand the glory that we knew with the Father eternal before the world was. The movement, the diastole, the systole of a heartbeat signify the nearness of God to each one. The drums of life are beating, and like the surf of the sea, they carry the roll and the thunder, the peal and the rejoicing of infinity echoing into the bounds of infinity. For where else can it be? Shall time alone retain all that is? The whole net of time, from the foundation of the world to the present moment, beloved hearts, is not able to either conceal or to reveal all that has been, all that will be. For you are children of the Son, in the sense that you were created as brilliant sparks of universal reason, now so paked by the sundries and destructivities of the age. We invoke in you release, that you may find that release through your acceptance of the great intent of your own beloved God presence to raise you up and to make those cosmic determinations for each and every one of you that shall separate you from the darkness which has created so much unhappiness for you and for all mankind. It has never been. It is not. It never shall be the plan of God to create those darkening conditions and responses of consciousness which cause mankind to shudder in soul because of the return of the karmic patterns to those who have created them. Karma, beloved ones, was created only as a cosmic law of mercy unto life. For if mankind create darkness, they must of necessity reap it. If it were not so, the whole cosmos would be polluted by the darkness of those who do pollute the universe, with the negative vibrations of their minds and hearts, their suspicions and their distrust of infinity. The way to God has been made plain in ages gone by, but the greatest plainness comes to him who understands the return of karma, who sees in the action and the interaction of the tides of life generated between one embodiment and another, a returning current. But when his mind is enmeshed in all of this alone, and he does not also raise his head up into the airy heavens of God to behold in the clouds of heaven the purposes of universal Christ reality, he is indeed as an ant in his own chambers. He does not see the civilizations of the world stretch forth from pole to pole. He does not see the cycles, the solar cycles of your system of worlds. He does not see the eye of the righteous that ever beholds the cries of the children of men and gives ear unto their requests, that they may rise one and all into that marvelous consciousness where at last they can now behold in these latter days the great cosmic opportunities that are the opportunities of infinite freedom, a freedom that will and ought to be the engulfing action of cosmic realms. Those who come from higher realms to this earth, actually laying down their great crowns of rejoicing and functioning at higher levels to come down into this domain, that we might also resurrect mankind from the darkness of dead works into that marvelous consciousness of your God presence, where the concentric rings of that God present become a tangible reality for each and every one of you today. And you are able at last to understand, to comprehend, to open the great gateways of consciousness, to feel the trumpeting of life over land and sea. For heaven is really very near indeed to earth, but earth has turned a deaf ear unto it. They have not heard. They turn instead to outer manifestations without understanding the great virtue and beauty of the billowing clouds of righteousness, of life, and of angel faces peeping through to mankind today and revealing to those who have eyes to see and ears to hear that heaven is full of meaning and portent, not just a place where man theologically can be, but a state of consciousness where he today may bear witness even unto his fellow men to the greatness of the eternal purpose made manifest. You are then children of light. Why will ye bear at any time the stigma of darkness? Is it not because the vibratory action of the earth's spheres have become so dense by reason of mankind's imitation of one another? I think this will prove to be true as the karmic record is engaged, as the teeth of mankind's attention is turned unto these conditions that are existing in your world, these political conditions, conditions of entertainment, conditions of mankind's procurement of necessities of life. As man examines the pages of media and observes how the manipulators continually create those situations where they are able to say unto mankind, tomorrow we will do this, and it is so. For they intended to do it from the beginning, and darkness covers the land. Mankind should understand that clear thinking and universal reason would promote a greater understanding of the purposes of life and mankind's employment of his opportunities in contacting the light of God that never fails. For the light of God that never fails is resident within all, but in some is covered over with such an overlay of mortal consciousness as scarcely to be seen even by the individual himself, who cannot understand why he feels so cut off from happiness and seeks to find it in outer spheres of action rather than within the temple of his own being. I tell you then today, in the name of the living God, that your bodies are temples of the living God. I tell you today, in the name of the living God, that your lives are also temples. And you have that great opportunity towering before you to understand the mysteries of the Spirit which are available to mankind today. They may be hidden, but they are hidden from the profane. They may be taught in secret, but they are taught to those whose hearts are on fire with the burning zeal and devotion to know and to understand, to grasp and to comprehend that your teachers are not removed anymore into a corner, that they stand before you from time to time at spiritual levels and speak as I am speaking unto you today, saying, arise from the dead and receive and perceive the righteousness that lies within you, the white stone of cosmic manifestation, the new name which no man knoweth, saving him who receiveth it. In reality, those of us who function at what we call the divine level, the God level, are many. We are many, and we are one. And our oneness is also colossal, for it gives us the greatest peace of heart and being to know that heaven has broken the cosmic loaf and placed the seeds of light abroad in the universe, scattering the seeds of light everywhere, providing a conflagration of the future, when the kindling shall come, and at last the flame shall blend in all, that God may be all in all, Gloria in excelsis Deus. So be it. Let it come. We await the manifestation of our oneness. Yet our diversity is also a manifestation of our oneness. Let all understand this, and be not in darkness. For whereas mankind may be many, each one seeming to perceive in himself a unique manifestation, in reality all are one, in the spirit, in the sense of the highest goals, which are clearly before you if you will open your eyes. Mankind see and say, we see not. They hear and say, we hear not. For there is a consciousness permeating mankind, which is not of the light, and that is the darkness. The light requires no darkness in order to show itself clearly in contrast, for the light exists, and one day there will be made the fullness of that statement in manifestation. There shall be no night there. For the glory of God shall shine in that city foursquare, the city of consciousness, where the universal souls of all men shall gravitate to, shall arise to, shall find their way. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. But we say unto you today that there are doorways, and there are shuttings of doorways. There are cycles, and there are ending of cycles. There are manifestations, and there are ending of manifestations. When we came to you today, it was to flood you with light, and we have done so. If you sit here in our midst and do not perceive that light, the fault lies not with us, nor does the fault really lie with you, but with those failures which you have made to apprehend, to raise your foot upon the stair of life and ascend one step at a time. Individuals say, we do not have the perception. Let me tell you, beloved one, the power to perceive is one step at a time, and is denied to none. All deny it unto themselves when they fail to enter in to the radiation and beauty of their divine presence. You have a divine presence. That presence is filled with ineffable love for mankind. When you meet your friend in the marketplace, is it a matter of extending greetings as angels do at higher levels? Do you say as you meet your friend, eternal love be with you. Eternal salutations come unto you. Eternal strength give pulse and rise within. Usually men meet with suspicion and distrust. They meet with disrespect, and what they receive in return is the anchor of that disrespect which they give posited within themselves. When men meet with an infinite cosmic greeting of light, as the angels do, when they meet free of all consciousness of sex manifestation, when the divine universal manifestation is perceived, then they are as the angels in heaven, and that greeting of infinite love which they bring is like unto it. It has been said of old, behold, the Lord liveth. I say today that he liveth in thee. I see you today as sons of flame. I see you today as clothed upon with his holy name. I see the seal fixed in your forehead as fixed in your mind. I see your consciousness determined and not blind. I am Surya, and I come today that I may enliven you, that I may quicken in you that indomitable God energy which will bring forth in the world of form a new activity of light, that activity become the fullness of the faith is our prayer. You are aware, and you know, and you behold in the world the various activities which denote the end of a cycle. You are seeing souls now born upon this planetary body that have not set foot here, nay, not in 2,000 years. Now they come, and earth is host to them. Darkness covers the land because understanding and failure have allowed individuals upon this planetary body to lower the standards, to bring themselves downward in their spiritual development, to fail to comprehend and to learn from bad examples that which ought not to be. We continue today to hold up the torch of reason from our level, but more effective than all is the holding up of the torch by you. For you at your level are the ones that require correction. Mankind needs to be lifted up. Those from our octave have already lifted God up, and in our realm and state of consciousness we are. Therefore we say to you, we who possess immortal life, would you also possess what we do? Would you also be one with us? Then help mankind, for the great power of that karmic action which mankind can engage in when they are willing to offer themselves in the service of mankind's development, when they are willing to offer themselves in the service of bringing humanity itself to a higher level of development, is very great and will expiate most tremendously the karmic action of individuals. Do you see? This means, per se, that each of you, through a cosmic action of your own God self in the world of form, as you extend the cosmic truths to mankind or make the attempt to do so, as you continue with your magnificent decrees, radiating light and love toward the world, will bring forth in the world that manifestation of the ascended master consciousness that will allow us to step through the veil and to manifest, that you may clearly see us here in this octave of consciousness. Do you see? We want you to understand this. We want you to understand why humanity in the past have not received that contact with heaven which heaven intended them to have. Certain individuals have indeed received it. These, in many cases, are no more. They do not actually walk amongst you, for they have already proven themselves worthy, and they are graduates from this planet to higher levels of consciousness, where you all ought to be. But we would not for the world strip the world of those valuable emissaries which we have in you at this time, for mankind need this light that you are receiving today more than they ever realize or will ever know in their present state of development. Will you then, recognizing this great potential and the needs to educate the young, to provide a proper teaching for humanity, see the need to embolden yourselves in your divine search and call forth that which never has been on land or sea, temples of light, temples of glory, temples of beauty that will become palaces of higher learning, where mankind can at last, as they erect these palaces, and as they find those teachers who are willing to serve in them, create a new mind and a new heart in the world of form and among all mankind, and new generation shall come forth that shall call him blessed forever. And the teachings of God that shall start from the earliest age shall echo forth in lives coming to maturity until mankind at last shall see that the kingdom of God is with men, and we do step forth from behind the veil into cosmic manifestation right where you are. I paused that I might send forth waves of cosmic beauty and perfection amongst you. And I raised them up to greater height, towering waves of light, sweeping from our retreat on the Isle of Suva, inundating continents and people with the tides of love, almost an aggressive love, but falling short of interference with mankind's free will. We accept the impetus of your free will, and using the free will of those of you who consent to our activity, we sweep across the world removing all human barriers for those moments of time the cosmic law will permit us, and flooding the world with light as it never before has seen light. For this is divine direction flowing. This is divine direction glowing. Upon your cheeks, the ruddy radiance of heaven glowing bright, those cosmic fire beacons shining through the night, awake the souls of men to peace, to reckoning with love, and understanding all God is, descending from above. The radiance pure invokes the plan, the brotherhood in man, for God is all in all. I am perfection's plan. Up the crystal road, from untrammeled spiritual heights, I return back to the great God star, showering blessings upon humanity, releasing fires of infinite calculation, trusting the future with the patience of the living God. I am Surya.